All right, y'all. I had to get my glasses, so I already have conflict. Believe me, I'm out here alone. So, Shalom, Ahab, Wa, Baraka. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakwa Kadash. Let's get right into it. This is a class I got, well, I was just taking some notes from the elder Uriah Lob. And so, let's see what, I'm gonna call this Uriah Lob's class that I took notes from. That's the name of this class. Let's go to Esdras, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Let me keep going. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. One more. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then I will show these tokens. The books shall be open before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So right now, you see that the books are being opened, and everybody's beginning to see all together at the same time. But today, we're going to get into a definition of a word. The word is revelation. It also has another word that means the exact same thing. Apocalypse or apocalypto. Revelation. A surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one that is made known in a dramatic way. Okay? Like apocalypto or apocalypse, to unveil or to uncover. Let's go to the online etymology dictionary. Disclosure of information or knowledge to man by a divine or supernatural agency. Okay? So, to disclose information or knowledge. That would be the book. Watch. Let me show you. Let's go to Amos chapter 3, verse 7, KJV. And anybody that studies, you should already know Amos 3 and 7, you're going to have to end up reading through verse 8 always. If you're not, then you're doing something wrong. Or you could just read 7, I guess. Surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Verse 8. So he ain't, clearly Yahweh is not going to show anybody anything in this book. It's all going to be a mystery to you. But the servants, the prophets, the ones that have real faith, that study this word day and night, that come out to the highways and the hedges and preach to the four winds of the earth, those guys he's giving the understanding to. The lion hath roared, who will not fear? The Lord God hath spoken, who can but prophesy? Who can but prophesy? So, we're the mouthpiece. We're the mouthpiece right now of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So, we're the lion's mouth that's roaring to warn you of what's getting ready to happen next. You guys see it one drop at a time. Maybe it's not happening quick enough for you, but I'm going to tell you right now, Yahweh hath spoken. Who can but prophesy? So, he's already showed us through the power of the Spirit what to say. All we can do as his servants is tell you what's getting ready to happen. Most people hate me for it. Let's get a precept though. Let's see if we're the mouthpiece. Exodus chapter 4. TLB. Exodus chapter 4, TLB. Exodus chapter 4, TLB. Watch this. Let's jump down to verse 16. He will be your spokesman to the people. And you will be as God to him, telling him what to say. That's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on. Exodus chapter 4 and 16.
According to Church of Jesus Christ, 16, and he shall be thy spokesman.
All right. Let's do it from the King James. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of Yahweh. Let's go to the New Living Translation. Aaron will be your spokesman to the people, and he will be your mouthpiece. Like I was saying, the prophets are the mouthpiece of the Most High. So when the lion's roaring right now, it's a warning to you to change your wicked ways. Because when he comes back, that's it. There's no second chance. This is your grace. Your grace is coming to an end. But let me read it in the New Living Translation. Aaron will be your spokesman to the people, and he will be your mouthpiece. And you will stand in the place of Yahweh for him, telling him what to say. So yes, when we come out here as the prophets, we are the mouthpiece of the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's move over to the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 9, KJV. All right, book of Daniel, chapter 9, starting from the top. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, Ahasuerus, the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood the books, the number of the years whereof the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in desolation of Jerusalem. So, because he studied the books, and he's a prophet, the Most High made it clear to him that he could calculate the 70 years by studying and following the word. Let me jump over to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, KJV.
The book of Sirach or
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, KJV. Going to verse 7, starting at verse 'It takes me, I cross for Ecclesiasticus, I click on Ecclesiasticus, it puts me at Genesis. That's what we have to deal with. It's all about their stupid algorithm. Now, Sirach, chapter 42, starting at verse 17. The Lord hath not given power to the saints to declare all of his marvelous works, which the Almighty firmly settled, that whatsoever is might established for his glory. So, let me keep going. He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. Let's go back to 17. He didn't give power to the prophets to glorify themselves. He gave us power so we could teach the word to our families, so we could be protected and as the wise virgins ready in that final hour. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, KJV. Let me get a precept. This is Ecclesiasticus 23 and 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men. And what I want to do, wait, hold on, let me go back real quick. I want to show you guys something. I didn't bring this to your attention first. Let's go back to 42. Let's go ahead and read verse 18 again. He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and beholdeth the signs of the world. So, he shows us the signs according to prophecy. He shows us the signs, but he's the one that sends them out. Also, he knows every thought of man. He seeketh out the deep and the heart. The deep thoughts in a man's mind. I keep trying to tell you guys, the heart is the mind. So now let's go over to Sirach chapter 23. Now they won't give me the King James version. And I'm telling you, man, they won't do anything. It won't do anything. Like every time I say it, the name of my YouTube channel is K6J1V3. It means KJV 613. They know what they're doing. Sirach, chapter 23. Now, let's go back to verse 19. Because I told you, he searches out the deep. He searches the heart. So and the heart is the mind. So he's searching out all your deepest thoughts, especially wicked ones. The righteous ones, their thoughts are the same. We think in righteousness. We think about the laws. We dwell on the statutes and the commandments. We're refined as gold. But for all you other ones, I just want to remind you of this. When you think that you're doing something in secret, this is Sirach 23 and 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not the eyes of Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, considering their most secret parts. It's written right there. He knows what you're doing, and he can see you. It don't matter where you think you're hiding at. He is going to see you, and he's going to visit you. For behold, like I tell you every week, the Lord cometh quick, and his reward is with him, to recompense every man according to his works. So he will be here. And when it's too late, that's when everybody's going to want to repent. That's when everybody's going to go, oh man, you were right. Well, it's going to be too, I won't be here then. I'll be gone. Guaranteed. I will guaranteed be gone. Sirach, chapter 42, KJV. Of course not. I guess it's like a game. You'd think I'd just be able to pull it right back up. Boom, 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 boom. Computer keeps shutting me down after every verse. Every verse. It keeps me nice and angry, so I don't mind. Let's go back down to 42, and we're gonna let's first make sure we're in chapter 42. All right. Let's read 18 again. Because now that we know his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and there's nothing you can hide from him. Now let's go back to 18. He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For Yahweh knoweth all that may be known, and beholdeth the signs of the world. Verse 19. He declareth the things that are past, and for to come, and revealeth the steps of the hidden things. No thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him. I already showed you. I've already showed you. He sees the wickedness of the secret counsel. You cannot escape. In fact, my kids, when I was teaching them this class, they're like Jonah? I was like, yeah, like Jonah. Was Jonah able to escape? No. He had to finish the Most High's works, and he was spewed right there onto where he needed to be. So let's go. Let's get a precept. Let's get a precept. Psalms chapter 83, KJV.
According to King James Bible.
Let's start at verse 3. For they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no longer be in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So, like I said, he searches out the deep thoughts of these wicked. He sees the wickedness of the secret counsel. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm a little tongue-tied today. 104 degrees out here. In fact, that might make it a little easier. So what I was trying to say was, he seeketh out the deep in the heart, and considereth the crafty devices. And so when you go over to Psalms 83, KJV, and then you go back to 3, for they have taken crafty counsel. So he sees the wicked, crafty counsel that's against us. So let me read it again so you understand what he's seeing, with his eyes being 10,000 times brighter than the sun. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no longer be in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against us. So what it means to be confederate against us, what's the biblical definition of confederate? To unite in a league. So they've all together united in a league, or allied themselves by a treaty, or engaged in a confederacy. So they're confederate against us. And he sees it, and he knows it. And our cries have reached up to heavens. Let's go to the book Luke, chapter 8, KJV. Let's jump down to verse 16. No man, when he hath lighted a candle, cover it with a vessel, or putteth it under a bed, but setteth it on a candlestick, that they which enter in may see the light. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So, while you're taking your secret counsel, the Most High says that all of that is going to be brought into the light. What hidden secrets of the lying oppressors are being revealed? In fact, let's go to Psalm chapter 35, KJV. Jump down to verse 8. Because the oppressors are secretly taking crafty counsel against us. They've made an allegiance together to take us out. But watch this. This is what happens when you go against the hidden ones or the children of Israel. This is Psalms 35 and verse 8. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hid catch himself. Let his net that he hid catch himself into that very destruction. Let him fall. So you keep the laws, the statutes within the laws, and the direct commands that were sealed in your heart to the best of your ability, according to your knowledge. When they come out with the snare, which means a trap, when they come out to trap you, they're going to find themselves in their own trap. Let's get another one. Let me prove that. Book of Esther, KJV, chapter 7. Watch, I'm going to show you somebody getting trapped in their own trap. This is Haman, and in this story, he was planning on killing Mordecai. But we're going to skip to the part where they find out that Haman's wicked, and Mordecai spoke good of the king, and Haman was trying to kill Mordecai, who is Esther's uncle. They were family. Esther is the queen. So let's see what it says. We're going to start at verse 6. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. Remember, he laid a trap. Watch this. He laid a trap. I'm going to show you. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. And the king, arising from his banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden. So he left the room. And Haman stood up to make request for his life of Esther the queen. And he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king. What did he do? He stood up. That's it. That's all he did. Let's go to verse 8. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the palace place of the banquet of wine. And Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, wilt thou force the queen before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. So in the biblical times, the woman would actually lay on a bed like a canopy style with a veil around it so the men could watch her while they ate and drank wine. You weren't allowed to touch the woman, but Haman was brave enough to walk up and ask for forgiveness. So what happened? As Hebron, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who spoke in good of the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. So Haman built a gallows to kill Mordecai. He let out a snare, and he was trapped himself in it. He was hung. His family was hung. His kids were hung, and all of his friends were hung. So when they lay out this trap, you just remember one thing. We have laws, we have the statutes within the laws, and we have the direct commands that he sealed in our heart. And I'm not talking about 10 commandments, because if there was only 10 commandments, this world would be going perfect. We're talking about all 613 that weren't taken away except for one single commandment. The Most High was tired of us doing a daily sacrifice and going back to sin. That's why they called Yahushua the Lamb. He was the perfect lamb. Let's go back to the book of Daniel. Book of Daniel, chapter 2, KJV. Book of Daniel, chapter 2, KJV. Let's go on. Start at verse 19. So, book of Daniel, chapter 2, starting at verse 19. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a vision. Then Daniel blessed the Most High Yahweh of heaven. Verse 20, Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. So, let me read one more. And he changeth the times and the season. He removeth kings, and he setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. So, the changing of the guard, the setting up of kings, and the removing of kings. That's what we're coming to right now. The changing of the guard. And watch this, because the people that control everything, they know what's getting ready to happen. That's why they say, oh, their time is short, they're moving fast. Watch this. Jeremiah chapter 10, KJV. Starting at verse 2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So they know what's getting ready to happen. And why are they so angry? Because I'm going to show you why right now. I'm just going to show you in the scriptures. Let's go to, because see, the changing of the guard is the end of their rulership. A situation that requires the changing of the guard, a situation where there's a changing of the guard. It's where you have one individual or a group of individuals that is replaced by another individual or group of individuals. You got the queen that just died, who she's no queen to me, but not to me. She a devil. But let me keep going. But they did a changing of the guard. Horrible example, but when we do the real changing of the guard, because the world is getting ready to see the greatest changing of the guard ever in all history. And let's get a precept on it. Genesis 25, KJV. So, we're talking about the changing of the guard. Listen carefully. Let's go to Genesis 25 and we'll start at verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that, his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bore them. So when Rebecca gave birth to Esau and Jacob, Isaac was 60 years old. But Jacob is holding on to the heel of Esau. And that's the reason. Because, let me get another precept and just show you. I got to show you this one. Let's go to, see, because everything that's happening right now through the prophets, it's preparing us for the new rulership. But let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6. I'm going to show you exactly why he's holding on to his heel. Let's start at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Why? Because we're getting ready to pull them right out of their rulership. Let's find out. Let's find out if I'm telling the truth. And he said, and for Esau is the end of the world. The rulership right now is about to be over. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the hand of the man betwixt the hill and the hand, other questions Esdras asked thou not. So, he's saying, other than asking him about the hill, he didn't get to ask any other questions. Yes, so Jacob is holding on to the heel of Esau, ready to pull him out of his rulership right now. That's why they say their time is short and they've got to work quick. That's also in the scripture. Let's go back to the book of Daniel. Book of Daniel, chapter 2, KJV. Going back into the darkness. Listen to this. Daniel chapter 2, going down to verse 22. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what the darkness, he knoweth what's in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. So I already showed you that its eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. This just lines right back up with that. I shouldn't have to go to the same precept twice if you're paying attention. Let me keep going. Let's get a precept though. Let's get a precept. Let's get a precept. Let's read it again and get a precept. Then the secret was, wait. 22. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. So now let's get a precept on that. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We're going to find out what he's talking about. Let's jump down to verse 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall have put down the rule and all authority and power. So let me go back to it. It's so hot out here, until after a certain point, I start to lose it. Let's go to Daniel, jump up to verse 23. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou Yahweh of my fathers, who hast given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto me what we desire of thee. For thou hast known, for thou hast now made known unto us the king's matters. So he shows us through the power of the Spirit what he wants us to do. And the ones of us that are willing to wake up and accept the instructions and go back to the law, statutes, and commandments, he's going to show us what he wants. So we'll know how to come out here and teach his word. Now I'm starting to fall apart here, so I'm about to close this out. I'm going to come out with a couple more verses, and then I'm going to close it down before I pass out. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. So the Most High already showed Daniel in a vision. That's why he was so thankful of what the king's dream was. But he knew that the other guys that are supposed to be prophets, the magicians, the soothsayers, and you know, it's funny because you know who those guys are these days? That would be your astrologers, your magicians, your soothsayers. That would be your scientists, your technocrats. And we still have astrologers. But you also have your World Health Organization. They're like witches and warlocks. Let's jump down to 28. But there is Yahweh in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. So he's showing him what's going to happen in these days. Thy dream and thy vision of thy head upon thy bed are these. So he's showing him a dream. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal something to you guys real quick, and then I'm going to close it out. First of all, let's go down to Genesis chapter 27, KJV. Starting at verse 40. In fact, let's start at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, indeed me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and he wept. He started crying. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, when you have everything under your control, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So just when you think you're in that perfect spot of rulership, that's when the Most High is coming back. Right when it's too late for everybody to repent. Shalom, Akiyah. Shalom. So, let me just show you. So we know, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So Esau he lives by his sword. So, watch this. Job 9, watch this. So we know that Esau lives by the sword. I'm going to show you who Esau really is, and I'm going to show you who rules this earth right now. Job 9:24. For all the people that study every day, you know what Job 9:24 says. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not him, then who is he? So who is this wicked person that lives by the sword to conquer earth? Wait, there's more. First Maccabees, chapter 3 and 48. First Maccabees 3 and 48, KJV. Wait, let's go back. Second Maccabees 6 and 6. We're going to read this one first, then we're going to go to the other one. So, the world was given to the hands of the wicked. We know that Esau rules his blessing with a sword, and he has the fatness of the earth. So, what country has a garrison in almost every other country? And for you that don't know what a garrison is, it is a base. What country has a base in almost every other country? The world was given to the hands of the wicked. Esau lives by the sword to receive the abundance and the fatness of the earth. But wait, there's more. Second Maccabees 6 and 6. Because what they did to take our identity was, neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So they made it illegal for us to call ourselves Jews. But wait, there's even more. First Maccabees 3 and 48. First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48, KJV. There's even more. They laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their own image. Do you know what iconoclasm is? It's called replacement theology. Even the Bible tells you that they put their faces over our faces. Wait, let me keep reading. They brought also the priest garments, the first fruits, the tithes, and the Nazarites they stirred up, who had accomplished their days. They cried with loud voice towards heaven, saying, What shall we do with these, and whither shall we carry them away? One more, right? For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profane, and thy priests are in heaviness and brought low. So I just want you guys to think about it. What people have a base in every country? What people painted their faces over the faces of the children of Israel? What people in ancient times made it illegal to keep the high holy days? What people is their blessing from Isaac is literally the sword for the abundance and the fatness of the earth. What people is this? Who are these people? Because it seems pretty plain and simple exactly who they are. Shalom Akiyam. So, I'm going to go ahead, and if you can't understand who I just revealed to you, if you don't understand who Esau is from those last little scriptures, then you don't understand this class at all. I'm showing you how we reveal. I'm showing you the apocalypse. I'm showing you. Their faces should be right next to reveal, because all they've done is lie and hide. But now they're being brought back to the unveiling and the uncovering. So, like I always say in my classes, if you have eyes to see and you have ears to hear, I hope you're able to get something out of this message. And Matthew 13 and 16 KJV. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Like I said, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope you're able to get something out of this message. I have one more verse and I'll get out of your hair. Revelation 22:14 KJV. I bring this out every single time because this is our job. If you're sealed in your heart in the book of life by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, then blessed are them that do his commandments, that they may have a right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates, not gate, gates, plural, not singular, gates. There's 12 of them, for one gate for each one of the 12 tribes, the patriarch sons of Jacob. Gates into the city. And with that being said, double honors to the elders of the Great Millstone for letting me take notes and be able to study with them. Like I said, this was some notes I took from one of Uriah Moab's classes. I'm pretty sure it's not like his class, but I did get the notes from that. And I just want to give double honors to all the elders, all the apostles, all the prophets, all the teachers, and the disciples, and the sincere Akiyam in the truth. And with that being said, Shalom, Ahab, wa Baraka. Kal Halayama, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodesh.